watching Superskum.com. I'm Carlos Rereleasing. I'm here with the one and only Mr. Lumberjack himself, James Dupree.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man, for giving us a little bit of your time. Let us bug you with a few questions real quick.
No worries at all.
We're right here, man, at the Flaming Gorge Days Festival.
/ Jackyl stock.
Exactly. There you go. Co-headlining Friday show with Slaughter. And back together with Slaughter in one tour.
Yeah. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, they occasionally open up for us.
Exactly.
This is not a, it's not an ongoing tour, but
it's absolutely just the festival.
I would say 2 or 3 times a year we'll get on a package. On a concert together. Yeah.
Any expectations that you have for this upcoming second leg, if you will, for this?
It's been a great summer so far, and and we got a lot of stuff packed on up, including going back to Sturgis coming up here in just a couple of weeks for the 5th season of the FullThrottle Saloon.
Cool,
if you can imagine a show running for 5 years that is just a bunch of long hairs out there running a bar. It's pretty crazy.
Expectations for Sturgis this year? More crowds?
They said the overall rally was down in attendance last year, but we had a record year, and the Throttle is a destination point for people that love rock and roll, women with large breasts and badass motorcycles, and of course some Jesse James Bourbon. So we expect it to be another banner year. We expect it to be another banner year out there.
America's Outlaws.
Yeah,
Bourbon, right?
America's Outlaw Whiskey. That's right.
Any pros and cons that you can share with the fans as far as difference between more intimate settings when you play at clubs, venues, theaters, bars, compared to rallies and compared to the big festivals and all that?
They're all. Every gig's Madison Square Garden for us. We don't take any one in any higher regard than the other. We've been blessed to be able to do what we do. By all rights, I should be pouring concrete or driving nails for a living. So every day I get to wake up and take a big bite out of life's ass like we get to do. I'm a lucky bastard.
And you used to pour concrete.
I have poured concrete, yes, yeah. I kind of miss that sometimes, because at least when you lay down at night, you've done something. I bust my ass, I work hard and everything, but when it's playing in a band or out spreading the word about the whiskey or shooting a full throttle TV show, whatever,
mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, it's sometimes you have to kick yourself in the ass to say, damn, it's hard to believe that I'm able to make a living doing this stuff.
No, and it's been a very because
I love it.
As far as any material, anything in the works?
Yeah. We're always writing and recording, and the Best in Show marked 20 years for us. Then a 20-year anniversary from the first record, but I don't see that being the last record at all.
Are you playing any of the new
songs? We'll play 4 songs off the new record tonight, and I won't say that about every record that we've ever put out. That we've done that. I think it's a testament to the new album, and you'll notice today. There will not be a lull in the crowd. Or in the show. This record is a celebration of the fundamentals of all the dirty that is rock and roll, and I think because we road tested most of these songs before we put it on the record, I think made a big difference too. But they really add to the show, and I think we'll be playing these songs from here on out.
Cool. And any road tests for any new songs?
Hopefully, I'd like to debut a couple in Sturgis again this year.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, that's really good. That's a great opportunity for that as well.
Yeah.
Back in '97, you actually had, you worked with Brian Johnson. He was the guest singer for the track Lock and Loaded, and then you co-wrote a song from the Relentless album, Kill the Sunshine, back, for 2002 release.
Right.
How did that collaboration actually happen? What was it? The experience like?
There was a buddy of ours that introduced us, and because Brian lives down in Florida, mm-hmm. and there was a mutual friend of ours that made the introduction, and he's just such an inspiration and such a friend, and I'm still the super AC/DC fan, so mm-hmm. He comes and stays at the house, and I keep his English mint jellies and stuff in the refrigerator. But I won't lie to you. It's still just sometimes I just kept sort of going, what in the hell, just because he's such a force, and he's Brian Johnson from AC/DC, and again blessed to have him as a friend, and again such such a supporter of what we do, and he's never the day that it got announced that AC/DC was going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He and I were slated to do a whole bunch of interviews that day for the single we had just put out. And I said, man, if you want to just bag out on doing this, because I knew it was a crazy time for him, And he goes, nah, me son, and he insisted that we go ahead with all the interviews. And although everybody was immediately going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he was focusing them right back on what we were talking about with the single, and just such a humble guy. No bodyguards. I mean, we've traveled with other bands and, guys that were our influences, and then they have the bodyguards and the limousines and stuff. And then here's a guy that could buy them, he could seriously buy them 3 times over financially. And, and he comes and stays at the house and there's no bodyguards and he's just a real guy. And that to me is a model that I've, aspire to walk in those footsteps, because my mama would whoop me otherwise, right? That kind of thing.
And he doesn't do many collaborations. Very, very, very few.
I don't know of any that he's done other than with Jackyl.
Well, he's doing one with the new album Sting this year.
I know, but that'll be the second one that he's done.
I think he did another one, I believe, that I was reading of. But if not, it's so unique. That's
I don't know of any other
you.
Release that he's done. And
exactly.
maybe he has, but he told me that he was doing some stuff with Sting. It's not come to fruition yet. I think it's just a guest appearance on something, a collaborations thing, Steve.
And that's why I'm asking this question. It's such a unique opportunity, such a unique instance, and I'm glad that you get to share that one.
Well, we've done it with him. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We've collaborated with DMD from Darryl from Run DMC, he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and both those two ends of the spectrum is really for us. It's really cool.
You probably hear this question a billion times throughout your career, but gotta ask, your chainsaw playing and any related lifestyles are legendary by now, of course, but how, when, and where did actually the idea was born to play a chainsaw?
It simply came out. I'd carried a big gnarly chainsaw down to a nightclub we were playing at years ago, and because we had the sold as an attendance record at the place, and I just thought I was going to fuck with the club owner, and just because what could he do? He couldn't tell us to not come back because we made him too much money, and I carried the thing in and was just cutting some stuff up, and he was losing his mind, and one thing led to another, and I ended up jamming with it with the band, and then my dad was in the audience, and my dad said, you got to keep doing that. And my dad actually went and bought me a brand new chainsaw to keep doing the Lumberjack.
Awesome.
So or keep jamming with the chainsaw. And then I wrote the Lumberjack song.
Oh, was that before Jackyl, or that first experience was with Jackyl?
Yeah.
Any plans on re-releasing a remastered version of the first 2 albums?
No, there's no plans. No, there's no plans, and I don't know how much. I don't know how much you're going to do to them one way or the other. They are what they are, just a slab of rock, and we're just looking for.
Awesome.
Plus, Geffen owns those things, so to try to get those guys to, focus on something, it's like the record industry's in such a strange place now. I don't think they're spending time remastering the first Jackyl record.
They're lost, man. It keeps selling anyway. Cause
it's still out there. It's just
absolutely, yes.
It's one of their top catalog records of all time for the label. So it's still strong.
You mentioned that collaboration with Darryl from Run DMC, and it comes with a background story. At least in 2010, when you cover the song from Mother's Finest.
Just like a Negro.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of a controversy associated with the title, and then Jackyl's Southern Roots and all that.
It's funny because I never got it as a controversy. There were some people that were scared of it,
exactly.
But even nobody spoke up and said anything. So there never was any adversity to the song. Just there's a lot of people shied away from it because it scared them. And but Darryl from Run DMC said, "Oh, I got to be part of that because it's a song that basically says music makes all colors run together." It's a positive message song that, because rock and roll came from the black man, and so when I'm jamming, sometimes I find myself acting just like a Negro, and the original version of that song, which had a whole nother meaning to it, was written by this the inventors of funk rock, Mother's Finest, which were a black, and they wrote the title just like a Negro. And then I did a record with a couple of those, the musicians that happen to be black that are in that band. And I was totally armed with plenty of legitimacy as to how that song came about.
Well, and then you said like the re-recorded lyrics are about unity and celebration.
If somebody
of
from New York or
African-American-
if somebody in New York or LA had recorded it, it would have been hailed as a brilliant song, you know. But you know, the fact that I'm from the South, saying the word Negro, everybody wants to damn just trip out, you know.
And that's the point that I'm actually trying to
fuck
get, in the
off.
sense of like, you know, why do you think that we still live in such a heightened racial tension in this country?
I've never, you know, I've one of my dearest friends is John Hayes, who was the guitar player in the band before this band. You know, I mean, I love that guy to death, and you know, and I mean, and you know, I can't imagine ever lashing out or using the word to hurt him or anybody, any of my other friends, or to alienate myself from any of those friends, because they were such influences on my life, you know. So, but I grew up in the South, and we used to hear we used to hear the N word all the time, and you know, I mean. But at the same time, I wasn't taught hate. I mean, I heard it because I lived in the South. But at the same time, we played on football teams with, you know, our friends, whether they were, you know, black, white, Jewish, whatever, and we loved each other thick as thieves, you know. And I still keep in touch with them, you know. And you know, and undeniably the South, you know, stereotypes don't lie. You know, and I got a strong Southern accent, so when they hear me say the word Negro, they want to, you know, but you know.
But that's the entire point. You're celebrating the influence of
music
African American and rock and roll.
The music came from the black,
unity. You're actually pretty much supporting the understanding, equality, inclusion, and what I mean. How do you react to the fact that you can't? Not that you can't. That, you know, some people. Well, of course, there's their problem, that they have a problem with a band like Jackyl having Southern roots and touching on a subject like this, even though they're trying to do something positive.
Screw the lyrics, but set the lyrics to the side. There's a song that goes, that's what's important, you know.
But no, I'm trying to, you know, make sure that you're trying to create social conscience. You're trying to be part of the solution and promote equality, and then people, we're so up in arms about this issue. It's just very unfair.
Yeah.
They don't even take the time to see the lyrics are actually saying the opposite of what they're accusing you of.
Right.
In that sense. But, you know, very small-lived controversy, of course, nowadays. It's different. And, you know, I do want to clear the air for all the fans, because I think that you deserve the credit.
Well, thank you very much.
Deserves the credit in a very good way.
Yeah, we just played. Darryl from Run D.M.C. was with us in Chicago last weekend, and we played just like a Negro.
Oh, cool.
We played like a Negro with a.
Did you record it with him?
Check out the video. There's a video on YouTube of Jackyl and DMC doing just like a Negro. It's probably my favorite video we've ever done.
You also have 2 solo albums. You have Foot Fetish, and then you have basically the Rev It Up and Go with PC. You know, 2000, the last one, not too long ago either. But anything else as far as solo material in the works for you, or any other projects?
I'm actually I've been recording a record of nothing but Conway Twitty, so I have to say I've got to get back and revisit that and see if I'm going to finish it on out.
A covers album?
I'd say it's a celebrational album.
That's good.
Because a lot of people need to stop for a minute and reflect on what a badass Conway Twitty actually was.
Duet album with your son in the works? Have you ever thought about that?
You know, we've talked about it. So he's so into his thing right now. You know, just finding himself. And I'm just letting him do it. You know, I mean, I obviously, you know, he does sing with me on stage live, and we have a blast. We just haven't recorded anything yet.
But can you tell us a little bit more about, like, what is Nigel up with?
Nigel's he's in St. Joe, Missouri tonight playing. Yeah, he's out with the band, and he's got a great new band. He's got a girl drummer that's just phenomenal. And
still touring for the
he's out there playing, and he's got some brand new. He's actually playing new stuff that's not even on the new record. That's just badass.
Aside from the music solo projects, of course, you are mixed with everything else. You are a very busy man. You not only your Guinness World Records, you have everything, television shows, of course, the Bourbon. You have business partnership for, you know, the FullThrottle Saloon, production company, marketing, consulting. My God, you have a lot.
Yeah.
Solo career, Jackyl, and your own record label. In this case, you know, we have interviewed bands that have their own beer before, but you actually got your own beer release, and you did the Bourbon.
Yeah.
So where can you find it? It's the America's
the Bourbon.
beer.
We released the Jesse James Bourbon about a year and 4 months ago. And while I share a name with a famous outlaw, and but you know, and there's nothing that me or any of the other Jesse Jameses could do that could ever stack up to the original Jesse James that we all grew up, you know, playing cowboys out in the backyard kind of thing. And so this is a tribute to not just the original Jesse James, but it's also a tribute to the outlaw that likes to ride those motorcycles, come to rock and roll shows, that kind of thing. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's a Kentucky bourbon. It's a 3-year-old that we blend with a 10-year-old, and it's America's outlaw whiskey. And we're in 43 states now, and doing great. And you actually can get us in Colorado now. Yeah, so
pick it up, man.
RNDC is our distributor there. So if you find a store that doesn't have it, you tell them to call RNDC and they'll get it over. But we're that's in Colorado. We got some great distributor partners across the country, like Johnson Brothers and Glazers and United down in Georgia.
How hard does it kick your ass?
How hard does the liquor kick your ass? It actually is. I'll tell you straight up, it's drinkable. I wanted something that I enjoyed drinking. A lot of whiskeys you do shots and and you have to get past it kind of thing. And this isn't. I actually pour this over ice and drink it. And when I'm home, and that, it's different than used to. We'd only drink Jack or Crown or what if we was out on stage and doing shots and that kind of thing. But I enjoy drinking the Jesse James bourbon, and we have the honey bourbon and the spice bourbon that just came out as well.
You also founded, Mighty Loud Entertainment.
Yes.
As far as the record label division, if you will, what can I expect from the record label? Is it just for your releases?
Well, I've done everything from Power Man 5000 to Eve to Adam to a hip hop artist named Sam Adams to hell, I even did Tanya Tucker's last release last Christmas. Right. So it's there. It's a vehicle. If I come across relationships or people that that there's a partnership to be had, and I connect with what they're doing and vice versa. I've got access to put the record out. And it's not the record company's not. I'm not out just signing bands. I'm just fortunate enough to have an imprint through the Universal system that I put records out whenever I feel like it.
Any plans to grow, or just keep it that way for now?
The record industry, as you know, is in kind of a funky place. Has been for a while. So the record industry to say you've got a record label. There's 50 cents. That and 50 cents will get you a Coca-Cola. Everybody can start a record company. I guess I'm more fortunate to have Universal distribution, our Fontana distribution, which is the indie arm of the Universal. So that's where I guess it really counts.
As far as Full Throttle Saloon, you wrapped up your 4th season right now this past March, and you just talked about 5th season.
5th season,
right?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's actually the 6th year that we've shot the show.
What is next for the show? Right?
Just go out there and you point the camera and try to capture some lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. What are your actual duties as executive producer of the show?
What they say? What is an executive producer, or what is a manager, or what is all these different titles that you have in the entertainment industry. Really, at the end of the day, across the board, everything I do, I'm a manager of expectations, and that's kind of that's my mindset. If I can manage both sides expectations, you can generally get to where you need to go. And it's whenever you can't seem to get a grip on managing those expectations that things go to hell. And so with the TV show, I have to manage the network's expectations about what they're going to get, and what versus what they want. I have to manage the everybody at the bar's expectations about how they want to be seen, or what they're doing, or that I'm being honest about what we're capturing. And then I have to manage the audience's expectations that it's going to be something that they want to dial in and watch. So if I can just manage everybody's expectations, including my own, which is probably the hardest to manage, but that's what my title is. That's what an executive producer does. Manager of expectations.
Anything else you'd like to discuss? Or
I appreciate you guys waving the rock and roll flag, and keep it up.
And you guys too.
People, y'all spread the word.
Tell
your friends and your grandmother and your nannies and your girlfriends and your wives to watch this damn crazy ass rock and roll show these guys have got.
Yes. All the different shows that this man is a participant and executive producer and main songwriter, and you name it.
I'll manage your expectations.
All different hats, but that one's really cool too. You can get that on his website.
That's right.
Jesse, appreciate it, man.
You, man. Rock me, roll me, Jackyl, me off scum, kick ass, yeah.
Sugar, she's a bugging in all the time.